At Wayne Webb's Bowl in Columbus, Ohio, these fans are going to get a thrill. The Mark Roth Marshall Holman PBA Doubles Championship. 10 of the world's best players in the unique Baker format. But this is also a tough format. If you aren't on your game, can your partner pick you up? We're going to find out right now.
He looks good. He looks good. It's over now.
Welcome to the Roth Holman PBA Doubles Championship presented by BowlerX.com. The number 5 seed, Darren, Tang, and Michael Tang. They will face the number 4 seed, DJ Archer and Shawn Maldonado. The winner of the match will face the number 3 seed, Novak and Kris. Prather. The number 2 seed, Marshall Kent and EJ Tackett. The number 1 seed, Jason Belmonte and Bill O'Neill. Those are your finalists in the Roth Holman PBA Doubles Championship presented by BowlerX.com.
As always, enthusiastic bowling fans here in Columbus at Wayne Webb's house. And it's always wonderful to be here. Always equally wonderful to be with my partner, the PBA Hall of Famer Randy Peterson, and of course, Kimberly Pressler. She'll be with us in a moment. Randy, this is a fun event. I love the doubles. It's especially fun if you're Jason Belmonte and Bill O'Neill, and everyone's looking up at you.
Yeah, it really is. Those two dominated this event. They led by over 500 pins. Jason Belmonte coming off his second place finish last month in a major. And Bill O'Neill, well, he's got 3 sixth-place finishes in his last 3 events.
Now, we have a pair of actual brothers on the show today, but Marshall Kent and EJ Tackett are like Rev-Rate brothers. What they do to lanes and pins is just evil.
Well, they're also tour roommates. But you're right, they absolutely love this oil pattern. Marshall Kent, EJ Tackett, they finished second in this event last season. And boy, I'll tell you what, they love to get inside and hook the entire lane. You can do that on this 44-foot oil pattern.
And we mentioned we have actual brothers. Yes, the 2 Tang clan is back, and they are standing by with Kimberly Pressler.
The 2 Tang clan is back indeed. So guys, the last time we saw you guys, you were actually going head-to-head almost a year ago today, but today you guys are teammates. So I gotta ask, do you think it gives you an advantage that you guys are brothers and you know each other's games so well?
For the week, I feel like it gave us an advantage just because we were able to adjust a lot quicker. My brother is able to tell me when I make certain misses. I can tell him when he makes certain misses, so we're able to just make adjustments a lot quicker.
And Darren, I gotta ask, even though you guys are teammates, is there a little sibling rivalry going on today at all?
Nope, not today.
Not today. It's all business for these two. Guys, we're gonna send it back to you.
Kimberly, thank you very much. And that's our opening match right now. The Tangs against a very experienced team of DJ Archer and Shawn Maldonado. Then the Novak Prather side in match number 2. Then Kent and Tackett at the top. Belmo and Bill O'Neill. And there they are. Mark Roth, Marshall Holman, yes. Thank you, Marshall. We knew. But appreciate it, buddy. As great a doubles team as there was. Maybe only one other I think you could think of that was as good as those guys.
Well, I mean, there was a couple that were pretty good. Another that comes to mind is Steve Cook, Mike Albee.
That's the one. So here's Darren Tang, the older of the 2 brothers. And through the nose a little bit. Let's take a second to explain Baker format here. They're going to alternate frames. So Darren will take odd. Michael will take even.
They'll stay on the same lane throughout the entire match. You know, there was one other formidable doubles team that we didn't mention.
Peterson Salvino?
No, Peterson Kreitz.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Clean start for the Tangs. And here was a team, we didn't mention them at the top, but they have as much or more experience as a duo in this show, on this show, than anybody. They've had 2 fifths. They've also had a 6th place finish. Here they are in the opening match again. This is Shawn Maldonado.
Two-hander that puts his thumb in the ball. And going with urethane right out of the gate. You can see the non-back-end reaction of that urethane bowling ball.
Shawn Maldonado, 31 years old.
So here's a two-handed style, but Shawn puts his thumb in it. And that trademark little hop to the right after he's done releasing the ball.
So now DJ Archer will step in out of Friendswood, Texas, also in the Houston area. 37-year-old, 2 PBA titles. One of those PBA titles is the PBA 50 South Shore doubles with Bob Learn Jr. That turned in beautifully.
When you talk to that team and ask them why so much success, they said they love the long oil pattern because they like to use the little slower ball speed. DJ Archer, what a beautiful start for his team on that left lane. I was real surprised that Shawn Maldonado did not get picked for the PBA League Series.
He had been there before. Michael Tang, 22. Perfect. And we're even through 2. Michael Tang was a college star. Darren Tang was also outstanding at San Jose State.
Unreal.
Both these guys went to San Jose State. Oh, mixed them up that time, and a double for the Tangs.
This left lane was tighter for the Barbasol Touring Championship, and it looks to be a little snug down lane today. Maldonado staying with urethane on the right lane.
Bowling on the Carmen Salvino pattern here.
Oh, no. Paralyzer 5 for Maldonado. This looks pretty good, straight up second arrow. And even that rev rate doesn't get the 5 out.
Yeah, the ball clipped it. Messenger missed it. And that 5-pin was actually knocked off its mark and will have to be reset properly.
Well, you know what they say, Dave?
Well, what do they say, Randy?
Nobody misses the 5-pin. Unless it's me bowling on television at the TSC one year.
No, that never happened.
Yeah, oh, it did.
Oh, no. Well, it's not going to happen here. Again, you see the format, and also, as Randy mentioned, they're staying. They get one lane. That's it. And there's a strategy to that as well. Take a look at DJ Archer's arsenal, and he's got the phase 2 out right now.
Hook a lot. Hook.
I don't think that 7's going to make it.
Bad.
Well, not very friendly in the carry department thus far for Maldonado and DJ Archer. That could have struck very easily.
Tang's on a double. So an early opening for them if they can take advantage of it. Kind of a banana ball to go after that 7-pin there.
Take a look at the oil pattern. It's the Carmen Salvino, 44 feet in length. Applied to synthetic surface.
There were 2 300 games, Baker 300s, and the Tang brothers threw one of them. The other was thrown by Brandon Novak and Kris Prather, who are in the next match.
Come on, baby, let's go! Come on!
Wow, that just can't beat that.
Michael's a very impressive young player, and you can see why. Off to a great start, but boy, does he have some great physical things going on in his game.
Oh, baby, let's go. Come on.
And as for Darren, he finished second in the 2016 Cheetah Championships in Reno, part of the World Series, was fourth in the USBC Masters, and who beat him? Michael.
Go, Darren. It's close.
Oh, man, they are just flushing these.
And Darren equally as impressive. One more television show than Michael. Darren's been working real hard on his game, trying to get his timing to be a little bit later. Both these players, or both of these brothers, I should say, are really good players.
Hot sell for Maldonado.
Oh, God.
Oh, God is right. A little high. So Shawn struggling with that right lane. Would you advise a ball change?
I would now.
No job. Nope, he didn't. So while the Archer Maldonado team is clean through 5, the Tangs are spectacular with 4 strikes in a row.
Down by 33 midway through match number 1.
A lot better.
He's right. He knew it when he threw it that it was going to be a strike. Through 5.5, however, it's Darren and Michael Tang with a 33-pin advantage. The winner to take on Novak and Prather in the Roth Holman PBA Doubles Championship presented by Bowler X. The Mark Roth Marshall Holman Doubles presented by BowlerX.com are brought to you by BowlerX.com. BowlerX.com is the online bowling supply superstore. Free shipping, free returns. Simple. BowlerX.com for the love of bowling. By Go Bowling. Promotional offers, tips to improve your game, news, or to locate a bowling center near you. Log on to GoBowling.com. By Barbasol Premium Razors. You're looking good, America. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Here are extra frame tournament highlights for the doubles. And of course, we had, as always, a couple of teams fighting for those last spots, like Patrick Girard and Zach Wilkins. Here's an international duo from Canada, Francois Lebois, former U.S. Open champ, and England, Stu Williams. In a bad break there. And a couple of old buddies and great players in Tommy Jones and new Hall of Famer Kris Barnes. But despite all that talent, Randy, none of them made the show.
Yeah, you're right, Dan. The biggest move of the day was made by the brothers Tang. Michael and Darren, who began the day in 8th place but continued to climb the ladder throughout the day, knocking off the likes of Big Wes Malott and his Hall of Fame partner, Norm Duke. The Tangs would take the 5th and final spot.
Well, the other 4 spots, these two clinched it seems like days ago. Bill O'Neill and Jason Belmonte just stepped away from the rest of the field. But behind them, a potent power duo. One-time Player of the Year, E.J. Tackett, and somebody who may well one day be a Player of the Year in Marshall Kent. Brandon Novak's back on TV. He and his partner Chris Prather nailed down the number 3 spot. Plus you had DJ Archer and Shawn Maldonado. And there you have it. Instead of a final 5, we're going to call this a final 10. Another finishers, of course, Norm Duke, Wes Malott, Tommy Jones, Kris Barnes, Girard, and Wilkins. Ronnie Russell and Chris Wolstetter, I should say, had a nice run there. Frankie Lebois, Stu Williams, there's some great talent there And from all over the world, this doubles had a real international flavor. So here is Michael Tang. And I should point out, when he got to second place and lost to Jason Belmonte in the 2017 USBC Masters, he was an amateur. And he almost ran the ladder until Belmo was just way too good that day. He threw a 279 in Tang.
Yeah, Michael bowled beautifully that day, and really the adjustments and the moves that he made. And then he started lofting it, using urethane the whole time, was pretty impressive.
Just hammered it from the side.
Ripped the rack, and then the 4-pin goes straight to concussion protocol.
Watch this.
Boop. Yeah, hit right in the head.
And Maldonado gets a break on that right lane.
Finally.
He got a messenger to go his way.
He's staying with the hot cell. Nice.
That's your Barbasol close shave of the day right there.
Slinging wood everywhere.
Will it be enough? We're running out of frames for this Archer Maldonado squad. Boy, that's not going to help. An 8-10. The Tang's already sitting pretty.
Yeah, it's going to put an end to DJ's and Shawn's day, but that ball just never picked up. The mixer 8-10 staring at him.
Handled beautifully as best he could. Trying to maybe get a break on that 10 to bang off the back and take out the 8.
Now down by 57 now, as the Tang brothers move into the 8th and 9th frame.
And they're riding a wave of 6 in a row. The no rules exist for Michael in his arsenal.
Kind of like the way you live your life.
Yes, I wish.
On the edge.
Yes, I am an edgy one. No question. I didn't like that one, and it's left behind 1 on the deck.
No problem there, just the 2-pin.
So Tang will have an easy single pin to clean up. PBA's Extra Frame will feature more than 1,000 hours of live streaming coverage this year from the PBA, PBA 50, and PWBA tours. Upcoming events include the USBC Masters and the start of the PBA 50 and PWBA seasons. Do not miss out. Get your yearly, monthly, or 3-day subscription today by clicking on the Extra Frame link in the menu section of PBA.com. My partner Randy Peterson, a frequent contributor to Extra Frame, and that's a bad break right there.
Pretty good.
Well, you know, we saw DJ Archer's ball push a little bit longer on that left lane. Remember last month in the Barbasol Touring Championship, how the left lane had a tendency to push a little bit longer. And all of a sudden, here's Darren Tang with that same type of reaction.
We'll take a couple.
Mathematically over.
So Darren and Michael Tang have advanced to the match against the number 3 seeds, Kris Prather and Brandon Woods. They did it by opening up a big lead and never looking back. Inside Wayne Webb's Columbus Bowl, match number 2 of the Mark Roth Marshall Holman PBA Doubles Championship presented by BowlerX.com. It will be Darren and Michael Tang out of San Francisco against Brandon Novak and Kris Prather. Now, we like to have a tradition of having these great Hall of Famers throughout the first ball. Here's Mark Roth and Marshall Holman taking care of business.
And of course, Marshall has to go stone 9.
And today's Ebonite Flashback features the players in one of the greatest doubles combo in PBA history. There they are again. We go to Markham, Ontario in 1995, the IOF Foresters Open. 5 days shy of turning 44. Mark Roth defeats David Traber, Brian Voss, and Walter Ray Williams Jr. there with a beard in the title match to win the last of his 34 titles. Now, here's 1996 Ebonite Classic in Troy, Michigan. 42-year-old Marshall Holman. Is the number 1 seed there and beat Wayne Webb for the final in Marshall's remarkable 22 PBA Tour title career. And there's what they did. Millionaires in earnings.
2 of my biggest idols growing up.
A lot of ways they changed the game, if you think about it.
Absolutely.
And let's check in and see what Kimberly's got.
Guys, I am standing with the 2 legends, Mark Roth and Marshall Holman. You guys, you know what? We saw a video of you guys out on the lanes. You guys obviously are great doubles partners. What's it like? What's your friendship like off the lanes?
Well, our friendship has been great, Kimberly. You know, when we were bowling together as doubles partners, we solidified our friendship. Now, when it was singles tournaments, we were after each other's blood, but Mark and I get along great, and I'm just thrilled to have had the time bowling doubles with Mark, and it's great to be here with my buddy. He wasn't able to be here last year for the tournament, but he's here now, and it's the best.
And we are so glad, Mark, that you are here with us this year. Now, let's talk about the PBA's 60th anniversary, because you made one of the top 10 PBA memorable moments when you made that 7-10 split. What's it like having that moment cemented in history?
Well, there it is. I've made that split before, but to be the first one on TV and to make it and help me win the game was great.
A wonderful memory indeed. And guys, thank you so much. It's my honor to interview both of you. We're going to send it back to the booth.
Yeah, and it's our honor, thank you, Kimberly, to have them both here too, and to have them lend their names to this great event. 1980, when Mark Roth did that, the Alameda Open in California only happened 3 times in television history, and he was the first. Next match, Darren and Michael Tang versus Brandon Novak and Kris Prather. Match number 2 of the Roth Holman PBA Doubles Championship will begin when we return. That's one of the 2018 Mark Roth Marshall Holman PBA doubles in the books, and the Tang brothers took down Maldonado and Archer by 20 pins. Well, coming up in April, it's the return of the Ocean View at Falmouth PBA League from Bayside Bowl in Portland, Maine. 4 weeks of fierce competition, 8 5-man teams featuring the best of the PBA, slugging it out, trying to get to the Elias Cup finals. And as you can see, everybody really wants that trophy. So can Norm Duke and the Dallas Strikers repeat as champions this year? That journey starts on April 22nd here on ESPN. Well, the 8 teams in the Ocean View at Falmouth PBA League filled out their rosters during the league draft at Woodland Bowl. Randy, you were on Extra Frame when this happened. Tournament of Champions winner Matt O'Grady was the first overall pick by Brooklyn Styles manager Johnny Petraglia.
Established tour veterans such as U.S. Open champ Rhino Page, Dick Allen, and Oscar Palermo were also chosen to participate.
And that was a very interesting pick there. Del Ballard from Motown Muscle picking this Japanese superstar. Plus reigning Rookie of the Year Matt Sanders going to the Philadelphia Hitmen.
Tylen Janafon selected by Portland manager Tim Mack. And Kyle Sherman with the final pick by Norm Duke and the Dallas Strikers.
All right, match number 2, and all 4 of these players right here are seeking their first PBA Tour title. Again, with the interesting style of Brandon Novak. And broke up some serious trouble there.
Yeah, Brandon's got a swing that is not something that you want to try to mirror, but he does a great job. Now watch this swing. He pulls it behind him. Big push away out, gets behind him, but he realigns it in the downswing and gets his hand in a great spot. This is just left of target. And he avoids the big split.
In 2016, he had 5 top 10 finishes. And in 2016 and 17, he's been in the Scorpion Championship of the World Series of Bowling.
Make no mistake about it, he can bowl. You know, you take a look at last month's winner, Jacob Buttriff, and you look at his form going to the foul line, and it's not, you know, what you would call textbook. But it works for him, and the things that he can do with his hand, Brandon, kind of in that same category.
So we go back to the Tang brothers. Here's Michael. And they're doing just fine. So we have a special edition with Randy of today's Track Tang Talk.
Well, 2 completely different games here as you see how Michael gets the ball into the swing there on the left, and then how Darren gets the ball into the swing. It's a little more in front of Darren than it is Michael. Michael gets to the top, waits on it nicely. The thing that Darren's been working on is when he gets it to the top, the ball starts to fall a little early, and that's what creates early timing. He's been working real hard to delay that.
The Pins would have appreciated him delaying it a little longer because he just mashed them again. Here's Kris Prather. And if you had a chance to watch last month and the broadcast of the Players Championship, he was impressive in his debut. Had maybe a nervous shot or two early on and nearly beat Tom Smallwood. In fact, forced Smallwood to put up 19 in the final frame. And messenger time for Prather.
Good young player, very strong game. I love his upper body position at the foul line, much more forward than, say, the bowlers were 20 years ago, and that's the style of today. And great pin action right there with the messenger taking out the 7 and the 10.
Very quickly, Novak steps in and strikes.
The match is even. Michael Tang bowling third.
So Michael Tang, we mentioned what he did in his first TV Finals appearance. As a PBA member, his best finish in the Cheetah Championship of the World Series last year, 17th. Yeah, they're just absolutely destroying his base.
And what he needs to do and what he's doing on that right lane, because of the urethane that Maldonado used in the last match, is he needs to keep his speed softer so it'll come around the corner. He gets a little too firm and it's going to shoot right through the break point. But he's moved in a little bit, it's gotten softer with his ball speed, and it's coming around the corner beautifully.
Let's go, Darren!
Nope, soft 10.
Got it in just a little bit, and it rode the oil.
Not enough up in.
Maybe a little bit of more side rotation that he wanted.
Nice.
Finishes in that half 10 zone. Or as you've now adopted, the quitter 10.
Yeah, I like that. You and Marshall Holman, I picked it up listening to two of you on Extra Frame. Now, we mentioned Kris Prather's debut on TV was darn near a winning one, Randy.
Well, he got off to a shaky start, missing the head pin twice in a row on the right lane. He made trips to 2-pin, but then he got dialed in. And man, what a finish coming down the stretch, only to lose by a pin to the eventual champion, Tom Smallwood.
Tom Smallwood won 2 matches by 1 pin on his way to his second major championship. This guy is just nails.
Pick up.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Well, that was the messenger with some insurance behind it. And again, I love the upper body position of Kris Prather, how it doesn't move throughout the entire swing. And then here he comes, the messenger, with a little help from his friends.
Four in a row, an explosive strike for Brandon Novak.
We got a match. Brandon Novak, he's got television experience. Back-to-back shows on Scorpion.
The Tangs defeated DJ Archer and Shawn Maldonado in the opening match. Standing by, the Rev Rate brothers, EJ Tackett and Marshall Kent. It broke up a lot of trouble, but he's left with one standing.
Let's take a look at this shot here. May have been a pinch faster, it never picked up.
All right, no trouble. Everybody clean and close.
Good one.
Through 5. Let's see if Darren can pick it up. Tang's open with the triple and have gone 9 spare the last 2 frames. He is the older of the 2.
Hey-oh, cave in the bucket.
He was thinking about running that one out, and then he stopped and just stood there, and I'm still not sure he believes he struck. So coming off that minor miracle, the Tangs and the Novak Prather match will continue in a moment. You see our score with the Novak and Prather team riding a 4-bagger with a 12-pin advantage through 5.5 frames here at the Roth Holman PBA Doubles Championship. Kimberly Pressler standing by with DJ Archer and Shawn Maldonado.
Thanks, Dave. So, Shawn, you struggled a bit on the right lane to get some strikes, but you did make all your spare shots. So what was happening for you?
Yeah, I was happy I made all my spare shots, but I don't know. I had a good look in practice. I was striking. I was comfortable going into the match. But the lights and everything, I guess, you know, the transition just moved really fast, and I didn't catch up with it. So, you know, it paid.
And DJ, you were on the left lane. What do you see happening out there?
Right, it's getting wet dry. You know, we used a lot of surface in practice, and you know, we kind of dried up to the right part of the lane. So if you get it in, you know, the lane looks like a cliff right now. So if you get it in, it goes straight, and if you get it right, it just bounces hard. So, you know, guys that, you know, with slow ball speed, you know, I thought I bowled pretty good over there. So I mean, if you can get in and kind of go around a little bit, you should be fine.
All right, thank you guys for your time.
Kimberly, thank you. DJ and Shawn, thank you, and great bowling. Now, you've used the term wet dry. He just used it. For somebody who may not know what that is, what do you mean?
Well, wet dry is the term we used to use back in the day. Now they say the lanes are getting cliffed. But it's what happens when the outside part of the lane gets very dry and the middle part of the lane gets really, really slick. And what happens is if you get to the dry too early, it overhooks. You get it into the oil a little bit too soon, the ball never hooks.
Well, right now, Kris Prather is loving life.
And so the way you compound the wet dry, a lot of times is you use a bigger ball with surface, you move in just a little bit, and you get softer.
Brandon Novak's arsenal, and he's got the Paradox Black in his hands right now. And through the face for a 3-6-10.
And see, I think that's where DJ was talking about the wet dry. I think he got that into the dry a bit early.
And he is on that left lane that DJ was talking about.
Yeah, and the ball just picks up immediately.
Just goes right after it with absolute
with bad intentions.
Yes. He was offended by that lead. So here are the Tangs coming off a strike in the 6th. You see Michael, and that loss in the Masters was to Jason Belmonte.
Keep the speed down. Give the ball time to come around the corner. He's using a really strong, aggressive bowling ball. Now it's all about ball speed.
Yeah, trip forward.
It's time to play. It's time to play. Let's go. Come on.
Time for our Columbia 300 fun fact. For a right-hander, the Greek church or grandma's teeth refers to the awful 4-6-7, 9-10 split, or swap out the 8 for the 9 if you're a lefty. Ugh.
Yeah. That's a lot of fun to leave, especially when you're on like a 3 or 4 bagger.
Ugly.
Yeah, not only do you, if you don't make it, you get the open frame and you lose count. It's like 2 opens in 1 frame.
I feel like we should have put a parental advisory in front of those pictures. Keep this away from your children.
Oh, God. Get lucky.
It did.
Where's AJ?
He's looking for somebody to talk that one out.
Well, I don't know if it was location or if it was maybe the way he let go of it.
One pin separates these two as we go to the 8th for Novak and Prather. Prather looks good on this right lane. Oh, no, sir. He liked it. He started to leave the building. And he's using the high road. Something I don't take nearly enough.
You know, I wasn't going to say anything.
That's okay. I beat you to it.
Come on. Right here.
Interesting how these two became partners. This is not some long-standing doubles team like Archer Maldonado or Belmonte O'Neill or the Tangs. These guys sort of found out that they were both available for this event when the PBA were looking for some more players. And Brandon Novak looked at the list and go, oh, I'll bowl with this guy. And, oh, man, disaster broken up there. It's kind of like PBA Tinder.
Well, Novak saw Prather's name on the list and he swiped right. I'll tell you what, this is a huge break here. Tripping the 2 and the 4 out late and only leaving the 10 pin to keep them in this game.
Ooh, that's close you can get.
It's not right. It's not right.
I think the speed and the wind kind of blew that 10 pin over. That went by pretty fast. But it's still a spare, nonetheless. However, the Tang brothers now in complete control.
A strike. Yeah, 268 max here.
Yeah, a strike here and good count in the 10th, and they're going to move on.
Marshall, Kent, EJ Tackett await them.
Keep the speed down. Oh, boy.
Oh, and there's a sleeper back there.
Oh, boy.
You got a 1-2-8-10.
Oh, this is just wide right. He's going to get the ball over here to the left side of the head pin, drive the head pin into the 10, and the ball will take out the 2-8.
But there's a little hope now suddenly for Novak Prather if he does not convert this. Just like you drew it up. And this is our hammer tough spare replay.
Well, this is brilliant. The head pin almost goes around the 10, but it catches it on the way around. And watch his brother's reaction. Now the deal here in the 10th frame. If Darren strikes out, they'll shoot 244. If Prather strikes out for his team, they'll shoot 245.
Well, now.
Remember last time up on this lane, he didn't like it, but he still struck.
He hasn't liked a couple of his shots. Better like that one. Trip 4.
Couple of trip 4s for the Tang brothers in this match. And you know what a right-hander's best friend is, don't you, Dave?
No, I don't.
A trip 4. Last time I tripped a 4-pin, it was 1994.
You see the max scores.
Now what do you do? What's he thinking? Do I make a little move here? Do I give it a little room to the right? What's the move? What's the adjustment? The micromanaging.
Just overwhelming these pins. That's a beautiful sign of the Golden Gate Bridge and the Tangs. Darren's going to ask for a re-rack or close to their max.
Well, he hasn't gone flush yet in the last 3 shots, and he's got 3 strikes for it. And that's okay because it doesn't hurt to have good carry.
So he'll take a little hydration while he tries to punch out for the 244.
Two of the most important things when you step up in the 10th frame needing to strike: air and hydration. Got a hook. Oh, it overhooked.
Yeah, no trip 4 this time. However, there is his mom, the boy's mom. And now, Kris Prather.
He needs a double in 9. Last time up on this lane, remember, flat 10.
That won't cut it here.
Carry.
He did. That's 1. He needs 1 more. And for Brandon Novak, all you can offer is a little emotional support.
A little bit of what the Tangs threw at Kris Prather's team as he gets into that swish zone and carries that hit.
Did you look or did you not look when you were on the bench?
Oh, I always looked. Yeah, I always watched. That was pretty good. Pretty good!
No, not good enough. Flat 10. And the Tang brothers are 2-0.
Well, he liked it, but watch the ball roll out right there. And then big time deflection. Finished in the 6-pin spot. And again, another flat 10 on that right lane for Prather.
So the Tangs have advanced. A great match. 243-235 over Novak and Prather. Now, this ought to be a powerhouse semifinal. It'll be the Tangs against Marshall Kent and E.J. Tackett. But before we get to that, we have a fan tip and a recap of Big February. The Mark Roth Marshall Holman Doubles, presented by BowlerX.com. Brought to you by Go Bowling. Promotional offers, tips to improve your game, news, or to locate a bowling center near you. Log on to GoBowling.com. By Storm, where innovation and passion collide. Storm is the bowler's company. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Columbia 300. Perfection is Columbia 300. Back at Wayne Webb's Columbus Bowl in Ohio. And the Mark Roth Marshall Holman PBA Doubles Championship has seen Darren and Michael Tang take down their first two opponents. They run into a powerhouse here in Marshall Kent and in E.J. Tackett. It is time for our Go Bowling fan tip of the week. We can go to New York, Rockville, and Cheryl has a question for Randy.
Hi, Randy. My name is Cheryl. I'm bowling here at Maple Lanes in Rockville Center, Long Island. I've been bowling since I'm 7 years old, and I throw a backup ball. How do I correct it?
All right, Cheryl, the first thing I would do is I'd have you move to the right side of the lane. And then what we got to do to get the ball to curve in the other direction is you got to get your hand to rotate on the right side of the bowling ball, not the left side. Maybe take a football and throw underhand spirals with it to kind of give your brain the sensation of a perfect bowling release. But you want to get that hand to rotate around the right side, almost pretend like when you let go of the ball, you're going to shake hands.
So there you get a free tip from a Hall of Famer. And by the way, our Go Bowling tip of the week, you can also go to PBA.com and throw in your video as well. You might get Randy to answer your question on the air.
Well, as the players warm up, let's take a moment to recap the most important month on the PBA schedule, one that included two major championships, Big February. The month started with a fun event, though, in Houston, the State Farm Kris PBA Celebrity Invitational.
And the wee Iceman, he wasn't even intimidated by James Harden.
And he got to partner with the host, Kris Paul, and that worked out rather well.
That's about the only time he's missed.
We go to Fairlawn, Ohio, just outside Akron. Matt O'Grady
climbed the ladder.
Took down B.J. Moore. Battle of young guns. Then Jason Belmonte trying to get that 10th major. He needed the double. He got the first, but the messenger failed him.
Massive messenger right in front of the 10. He took advantage of a subpar Jesper Svensson on that day.
And Matt O'Grady became a major champion, running the ladder to the very top. Now, Jacob Buttriff ran and hid in Indianapolis in the Go Bowling PBA 60th Anniversary Classic.
Yeah, led just about from start to finish, and yeah, he was magnificent against Marshall Kent in the title match. How about a little help? Thank you.
Don't mind if I do.
I'm always very proud of you. It's for you, Mom, right here. Right here. Thank you.
And then we go to Wayne Webb's Columbus Bowl. And speaking of latder climbing, how about Tom Smallwood's performance?
Well, Smalls was just magnificent all day long. Taking care of Patrick Gerard, Kris Prather, Marshall Kent, and then against Belmonte. Belmonte gets up in the 10th frame. If he strikes out, he forces Smallwood to double. Instead, Smallwood just needed a mark.
And a towel. So we've had two majors in February. Jason Belmonte had his chances but did not win them. We've got another one coming up in April, the USBC Masters. Can he win his fifth on April 15th at 1 o'clock Eastern? Who will face Belmo and his partner Bill O'Neill in today's final? We're going to find that out next. It'll be the Tang brothers taking on Marshall Kent and E.J. Tackett in a Rev Rate special. So here we go, the Mark Roth Marshall Holman PBA Doubles Championship. Match number 3 is presented by BowlerX.com. And the Tang brothers will lead off. And this will be Darren Tang on the left lane, where it's been adventurous for him at times.
Let's go, Darren!
Yeah.
4.
Yeah, it's the wet-dry reaction. I mean, it's, you know, you get it in the oil just enough and the ball doesn't pick up. You get it right early and it overhooks. That lane's going to get, that lane has gotten tricky and it's going to continue to be that way.
That is a difficult spare to pick up and handled beautifully by Darren. We take a look at the leadoff man in this Baker format where the bowlers alternate frames. E.J. Tackett out of Huntington, Indiana. Already 9 tour titles at 25 years old, including 2 majors.
Yeah, he's already all but solidified himself into the Hall of Fame at age 25.
That's an odd look there for Tackett.
Interesting, he decided to go straighter. I would have thought with the rev rates of EJ and Marshall Kent that they would have moved left of where the Tang brothers are and just absolutely strapped on it. Opened up the entire lane.
And they still may as the day goes on for them as Tackett wipe out the 6-pin.
One change Tackett has made is he's gone back to 15 pounds. So he feels like he doesn't have to work as hard.
Yeah, his dad noticed that. He said, you just don't look like yourself.
Yeah.
And persuaded him to go to 15, and EJ likes it.
Let's go, Marshall!
Man, ripping Marshall Kent.
Big hand, big rev rate. About the 23rd board at the Arrows. We'll see if the rev rate of that team there can blend out the wet dry on this championship pair.
These two like to yuck it up a bit. And the Tang brothers, you know, they too have a brotherly sense of humor.
On the ball. Uh-oh. Well, look, he made a ball change and then it looked like he moved in. This one never comes off the spot.
Got a little bit of a break by kicking the 8 aside. See how aggressive he is here. Might as well be.
Made the washout last game.
So an open frame for the Tangs early in this match. And there he is, the man himself, Wayne Webb, in another understated outfit of his. And Elaine, who is the boss at Wayne Webb's Columbus Bowl. And Wayne will be the first to tell you that. And the players rave about the treatment they get here. We're checking the record books, Randy, for the highest amount of trip fours on a telecast by the same player.
Remember the last shot on that lane, he went light. Left the 2-4-8. This one he gets it a little bit farther right and it goes high. Great break there, tripping the 4.
Well, we talked in the first match about DJ Archer who bowled on that lane. And we said the margin of error is tiny. Jackal Ghost for E.J. Tackett in his arsenal. Oh my.
There you go. So that's the other way to combat the wet dry is move right, move your eyes in, get them right on top of that slick oil line and throw it straight and hard.
It's just TNT here from EJ.
Problem is if you miss just a crack to the right, it's going to go higher, Brooklyn. Way to double up there for team Kent and Tackett.
Sonic for Kent.
Let's go, Marshall!
Uh-oh. Well, our Columbia fun fact has come to life.
That looked like he got a little early. He got the ball to the bottom of the swing a little quick and then hammered on it. And this ball cuts loose right there.
So an open frame for Kent and Tackett, holding their momentum. And now the Tangs are just 4 back, and we have a long way to go yet in this match. The winner will face Jason Belmonte and Bill O'Neill, the #1 seeds, and that match will be shown without interruption. He asked politely, but was left with 1 on the deck.
He squared up his angle just a bit and went high. The lanes have transitioned and are getting oogly. You know what oogly is? That's double ugly.
I think these guys would agree with you. Would it be against the rules for them to turn around and ask either Marshall or Mark Roth what to do?
I don't think so.
Because they would have an answer, I'm sure. In honor of the PBA's 60th anniversary season, the PBA has released an exclusive line of 60th anniversary t-shirts and polos that are available in the online store at pba.com. In addition to those items, the online store features player signature series t-shirts and polos, hats, mugs, and more. Click on the Shop PBA tab of the pba.com main menu to check out. Proudly wore my Randy Peterson golf shirt a couple days ago.
You did.
Quiet 10.
Well, he liked this shot. It looks like a pretty good shot and is just a little late coming around the corner.
Both the Tangs very used to a Baker format with 5 players in their college days for the Spartans of San Jose State.
Keep working. Tackett can't lead by 5 pins. Tackett bowling 5th rank.
E.J. Tackett, who's 2017, he had 4 titles. Won the Scorpion of the World Series, the main event PBA Tour Finals in Orlando, won in Shawnee, the Tournament of Champions, that dramatic final with Tommy Jones, and won in Japan in 2017. Just like that.
Yeah, well, EJ could have been easily voted Player of the Year again if it weren't for the spectacular season Belmonte had.
Yeah, 3 majors will certainly make you Player of the Year.
Now Marshall Kent on the left lane. The cliff lane.
Oh, that's tugged.
Oh my heavens, another impossible opportunity here for Marshall Kent. He needs some notes on that cliff lane.
Well, he heard him say it. This is tugged, and he pays for it.
So the woes continue for Marshall Kent. He's having a bit of a tough day. It puts his team in a bit of trouble against the Tang brothers. So it's gotten tough. The conditions have changed during this match for the Tang brothers and for Kent and Tackett. And 2 guys who understand the conditions very well are standing by with Kimberly.
Thanks, Dave. So, Kris, you know what? And Brandon, the Tang brothers really kept the pressure on you, but you needed 2 in the 10th in order to win. You got the first strike, but on the second strike, you said you liked it. But from your perspective, what went wrong?
You know, I think I really needed a ball change. It was getting kind of lazy down lane, and you know, I wouldn't do anything different. You know, I threw it right where I needed it. I thought it should have struck, but it just didn't fall down.
All right, and Brandon, I know this is a disappointing loss for you, but you're in your hometown. What does it mean to make a show right here?
You know, it's a dream come true. It's something, you know, I've always wanted to do. So it was nice to make it, at least make one of the shows. It would have been nice to come away with the win, but we'll get it next time.
Next time. Guys, thank you so much. Guys, we're going to send it to you.
Thank you all 3 very, very much. And now these guys have had some time to think about it. We'll see. We'll start looking for ball changes here from any of these 4 players as they're fighting their way through transition.
Well, Michael's sticking with the same ball he's thrown the last 3 shots.
That worked out beautifully. Sweeps aside the 10.
A great shot there, and finally found a way to get it to square up in front of the 1-3. Combination of ball speed, rotation, and location.
We'll see if Darren can make it a double. Jason Belmonte, Bill O'Neill await the winner.
Increase the lead to 17 here.
Ooh, that needs help.
And that messenger just doesn't have enough oomph to do anything.
Help him more.
Well, this wasn't as bad as he thought, but again, it's just that little half pocket quitter 10.
Well, in a match like this, it's even more critical to nail down your spares.
Interesting how Darren doesn't use a spare ball, he just flattens out a strike ball, and Michael does a little bit of the same. I haven't seen him shoot a corner pin yet. Everything's been left to head pin, but he flattens out his strike ball as well. We take a look at E.J. Tackett on the right lane, 2016 Player of the Year.
And Tackett's had a couple of strikes in his last 2 balls. Solid 4 left behind.
Wasn't that bad. But again, just on that line, just a fraction right, the ball's going to overhook.
A couple of good looks at what's left behind here for EJ, and he'll just ram that into the pit.
All right, man, come on.
And now Marshall Kent, his last 2 have been a Greek church and a 4-6-10.
Now it looks like he's going with a different orb. New sphere for Marshall Kent on the left lane.
Oh my God, Marshall,
That is
jeez.
another split.
Come on.
Well, honestly, I think it's inexplicable.
I was about to ask you for an explanation,
I
too.
have none.
This is makeable. No, look at that. That almost came off the back wall, and instead of clipping the 10, it went into the channel. Look at this.
He almost came out of the pit.
Yep, that's just an unfortunate break, but then again, put himself in a difficult position. Well, Roth and Holman made 5 TV finals together as a team and won twice, including this one you're looking at here, the '84 Showboat PBA Doubles Classic in Las Vegas. Roth and Holman were the tournament leaders in that one, as they were for 3 of the 5 doubles TV finals they made together. They won this one against the team of Ted Hannas and Dave Houston. These 2 had a lasting impact on the sport of bowling. Ton of force.
That's right, 9 spare works.
Shot.
Max score for Tackett Kent 185. With a spare here, the Tang brothers can shoot 205.
Be really interesting to see when you have 2 veterans like Jason Belmonte and Bill O'Neill, how they will approach the lanes in the next match for the title.
And that's a pair that's accomplished a lot in their careers, but they have not won a doubles tournament. They certainly have not won this one together.
Come on, come in, Ken. Sit up. Come on. Your best one right here. Come on.
That's a great message to give your partner, your best one right here. That puts a nice mental picture into your brain. Right now he's telling him this is going to be my best shot of the game.
Maybe.
Well, again, I think half pocket, would that be appropriate?
Yep. It's just that weak 10 zone. You know, I think the execution on this shot was good. Just cover the spare. There's no way you can be shut out.
Spares covered. Spare in the foundation for the Tangs.
Well, to have any chance, EJ Tackett has to strike on this ball. He's bowled pretty well, with all things being considered, after the first shot he threw where he went high. Flush after that, and then left a 4-pin.
His strikes have just electrified this place. They've been spectacular. And Marshall Kent, at the moment, needs a map to find a strike, unfortunately, the way things have gone for him, and he is going to finish things off in the 10th frame.
He's going to take a re-rack, and I mean, I'm not even sure if Marshall knows what he's going to try to do on this shot. I don't think the execution's been there. I know that he's got to play the lanes a little bit more open. He's going back to the ball he started with.
A lot going on in his mind, I would think, right now. It's makeable. It's not a split, but this one just never got there.
And that looks like 55 feet of skid. And again, that shot there, at least I think the execution was pretty good, but the zone was not.
Get over there. Jesus,
oh my.
Marshall.
And this match is over. Darren and Michael Tang have won 3 matches. And a disappointing outing for Marshall Kent in this one, as they'll leave a 151. And Kent with 4 open frames in the match consecutively.
Well, Mama said that we'd all have days like that, but I'll tell you one thing I think that these two guys are excited about. They both get another crack at Belmonte.
Oh, yeah, I'm okay with that.
Michael Tang had a chance at him at the USBC Masters.
Right.
And Belmo was brilliant that day with a 279. Of course, who did Michael have to beat in order to get to that?
His brother.
One of the matches he had to beat his brother as he tried to run up the ladder and almost captured the Masters. That's not going to make any difference. But this was a tough one for both teams. Darren Tang, Michael Tang, 3-0. Now they take on the top seeds, Jason Belmonte and Bill O'Neill. How will these Tang brothers figure out these 2 lanes, and how will Belmo and O'Neill play them? We're going to find out in a moment.
Take a look at Columbus, Ohio. Our host, along with Wayne Webb's Columbus Bowl for the Roth Marshall Holman PBA Doubles Championship, presented by BowlerX.com. And time for the Geico Championship recap.
Match number 1 featured the Tang brothers taking on DJ Archer and Shawn Maldonado. It was the Tang brothers all the way, catching a 6-bagger early and running away with match number 1. They would win 223 to 203. And in match number 2, Novak Prather took on Darren and Michael. Michael with a great washout conversion. Started with a 3-bagger, ended with a 3-bagger, catch the late double. Prather had a chance, he needed to double, he went strike 9 spare. Darren and Michael win 243 to 235. And then in the last match that you saw, or that we saw, boy did this get ugly. Split after split, open frame after open frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 counts out of the last 7 frames, but Darren and Michael hold on 172 to 151.
So now the Tang brothers 3-0, but they face a formidable duo with Jason Belmonte and Bill O'Neill for the championship of the Roth Holman doubles in Columbus. To the winner go the spoils, the BowlerX.com Mark Roth, Marshall Holman doubles championship. The finale, the number 1 seed, Jason Belmonte and Bill O'Neill against Darren and Michael Tang. And the number 1 seeds will go first. Bill O'Neill will take the left lane. Me and Jason, great friends, longtime doubles partners, 4th in this event a year ago. And O'Neill strikes on the left lane.
And it looks like Bill's starting with a really aggressive bowling ball with surface so that when he gets it to the dry early, it doesn't overreact.
Well, both lanes changing dramatically since our show began. Michael Tang, see the strikes, only 2 strikes in that last match. And their 170s score was good enough to win. That just absolutely stalked the pins. A perfect shot.
Come on, that's what we want. That's what we want. Come on.
Inside a 4th arrow with the right speed and rotation equals a 10-pin party in the pit.
See, Darren Tang had 1 of those strikes. Remember, in the Baker format, the players alternate. So you don't bowl a full game. Oh, that was a ringer. We haven't seen many of those.
Well, he's hit the pocket a lot in the last 4 or 5 shots, and he hasn't struck at all.
I'll go one more.
Some weak 10s, ring 10.
We'll be showing you this match, by the way, uninterrupted. There'll be no breaks. And he covers it comfortably.
4 10-pins in a row for Darren.
Gotcha.
And Jason Belmonte had 2 cracks at the apple in February, trying to win a 10th major. Made 2 major shows, was the number 1 seed in the 2nd one in Columbus, and got beat by Tom Smallwood in that one. A quiet 10 for Belmo.
There's something you don't see every day. A quitter 10 from Belmonte. This is like a unicorn sighting. Look at that. Looked like one of my shots in the league on Thursday night.
Somebody yelling out, go get a banana, man. Jason always downs a banana before he bowls. Loves the potassium. Of course, the way he pronounces it, it's banana.
It's easy for you to say.
No, it's not.
So somebody's picked up on that and calls him. But in fact, I think he revealed that here in Columbus a year ago.
I think you're right.
That a banana is a secret to his success. That and good bowling.
Yep, he's got the right shape on that lane. Bill O'Neill does.
Now, Bill had to be studying a little bit what was going on that left lane in that last match, because it got pretty tricky.
Well, again, Bill using a big asymmetrical bowling ball with 2,000 grit on it, and that's just to make the ball slow down when it hits the dry. Darren using a big asym ball as well. Asymmetrical versus symmetrical, folks. That's the size of the engine inside the bowling ball, the core. Symmetrical cores are cleaner and longer. Asymmetrical, bigger engine.
All right, clean through 3. Can't let Belmo and O'Neill run away. They took off in the qualifying for this event.
Interesting that neither Michael or Darren use a spare ball. They use the Norm Duke method. They just flatten their hand out and use the same ball they're using for their strikes. Roll it end over end. Uh-oh.
Yet another strong 4.
Yeah, that is a good sign. When you yip it just a bit and you get it inside a target and you go 4-pin, that's a real good sign. However, you could easily just get through it super clean and get it in the same spot and it goes light.
Nice pair twice for Darren on the left lane, where Bill O'Neill has struck twice. And Jason Belmonte had a flat 10 on the right lane on his first trip up. Belmo's got a ton of titles, Randy, but not a doubles title, amazingly. In his arsenal, the High Road Nano.
Well, Jason is the only player using a symmetrical core. All of the other players using ASIMs. Darren, that's 6-9 spares in a row for him now.
And there's the almost traditional Belmonte messenger.
Week 10, we don't need no stinking week 10.
Week 10, strong 1. So here's Billy O, who's thrown 2 in a row. Ripped solid.
Come on, Bill!
Broke up a bucket and is left with 1 behind.
Oh, it looked inside and just a little firm. That was it. Really trying to keep his hand up underneath it. And this looked just a pinch inside the target and a little fast. He's been working real hard on his game. Left arm out in front a little bit longer to help him create different angles.
He had a very interesting big February. He was 6th 3 times.
Yep. A couple of breaks that go his way, he could have easily made 3 telecasts in a row.
Well, 2 times he was passed by somebody who struck in the 10th.
Yeah.
Shota Kawazoa in Indianapolis and Tom Smallwood here in Columbus. And Smallwood goes on to win the thing.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Mix them up. Down they go. And a little shimmy. They're trying to loosen things up a little bit.
Well, they're having a good time. And they were on the show when we came on the air to start. I mean, these guys are loose now. They've gotten extensive TV time.
And they're having a good time. The two brothers having fun together. And now looking for their first double of the championship match.
Both these guys, superstars at San Jose State. Darren still an assistant coach with the team. Yeah, he knew. You can hear him asking for a little divine intervention.
Well, that looked a little grabby. And what I mean by that is it looked like he grabbed it at the bottom.
Too close to the spot. Yeah. Come on.
See that rangefinder down lane? Went right over the top of it. And just to stay clean, 3-6-10.
Oh, please.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's not the textbook way to attack that, but you'll take it.
Belmonte O'Neill by 11. Belmonte bowling 6.
So Belmonte O'Neill leading by 11 pins. And that messenger will drop into the pit instead of making its way over to the 10 pin.
Paranoid about.
He's accused himself of being paranoid. What do you think he might be paranoid about here?
I don't know, but he didn't like that shot. It still gets there for a weak 10, but, well, real late 10.
Well, Belmonte and O'Neill have been in this position before, and it just has not worked out for them when they've been on these double shows. Here we go to Maine. You get that. As Bill O'Neill said, by the time I got up in the 8th, we were done.
Yeah, but you'd be out of your mind to dump either one of these guys.
Oh, no, they're staying together. Without question, they're the best of friends. And much like Archer and Maldonado, they've had great success in getting to the TV shows, but winning them is something else. They've been fourth 3 consecutive years. They fixed that problem. They'll be no worse than second. And at the moment, they have a slight lead.
Close. Yeah. About close.
Belmonte and O'Neill by 9 pins.
Anybody's game.
When you talk to these, really to all of them, except maybe Prather, Novak, who are still a relatively new team, they all talk about being able to read each other's games, being able to reach over and say, hey, do this, do that, to each other. And, of course, the Tangs have been bowling together their entire lives. Yeah, it's a beautiful strike there from Michael.
I think the two players should probably speak the least to each other or about what each player is doing is Belmonte and O'Neill.
Yep, they're not speaking right now.
They're so completely different, but they're such great veterans. They know exactly what they need to do. It's just a matter of execution. And here's a shot that would give the Tang brothers the lead for the first time.
A lane where Darren hasn't struck yet in this game. And 0 for 4 in the strike department.
Going back to last game. Trying to count all the 10 pins for Darren. Give me a break.
Oh, there's a bunch. Yeah, it's going to take you a while. Take your time. Uh-oh. And he whiffed one. You wondered if somebody would, because this has become a spare shooting contest in the last few games, and you wondered if someone would make a mistake, and unfortunately, it was Darren.
Well, 5 10 pins in his last 7 shots, and finally missed one.
That's got to hurt.
Yep.
All right.
Even sometimes the #1 player in the world has problems.
Well, and I think he liked that shot. It never got there. So, you know, do you make a ball change? You go to a bigger ball, something stronger that'll pick up sooner? You do what O'Neal's doing and go to something really aggressive?
Oh, we're really late in the match, though. Is it too late?
Well, I'll tell you what, that shot right there wasn't that far from being a 2-8 set.
Come on, Bill. Let's throw one radio.
Belmo finishing the game. O'Neal strikes here. The Tang brothers can still shoot 206. If they strike, if Bill strikes here and the Tang brothers strike out, that would force Belmo to get a mark.
Go, Bill! And there's the messenger.
Really good shot again. Execution's been flawless this game. Bill O'Neal made the right choice in where to play the lanes and equipment to use. He's blended the wet dry out. He's got the best look out of the 4, in my opinion, right now.
Now, this is a PBA Tour title, so Belmo looking for number 17 and Bill number 9. These guys looking for number 1, both of them. Yes, 7 pin shoved into the pit.
We're making it. Come on.
And a re-rack being taken here by Darren on that left lane. See the score through the foundation.
His last strike came 8 shots ago. It was the 3rd frame of the last game, and that was Darren's last strike.
Well, that missed single pin just sits there. Light.
And you can see just how much better Bill O'Neal was able to conquer the left lane based on the way he's throwing it, the choice of equipment, the surface, and then just Bill O'Neal being Bill O'Neal. He completely blended this tough lane out. Darren Tang's a really, really good player, and he struggled on that left lane with the wet, dry reaction. Bill O'Neal made it look simple.
So for a 186 max, is Phil Ball.
Yeah, Belmonte needs to stay upright.
He's good at that.
Look at that. And it just didn't matter when he got to the pocket, he never struck anything.
Nope. That looked like a very, very good shot when he released it. And he almost had left a 7-10 behind. That's all you need, Belmo. And it will be tour title number 17 for Jason Belmonte and number 9 for Bill O'Neal.
Got there.
It was only a matter of time for these two.
The Mark Roth, Marshall Holman PBA doubles champions, the top seed, Jason Belmonte and Bill O'Neal.
All right, finally, man, we've got there. Really happy to do it with you, man.
I have to say, if we were giving out an MVP, I would look at Bill O'Neal as the guy.
I got to tell you, I'm happy for Bill. He's worked really, really hard to get back to the winner's circle, albeit a doubles title. But I'll tell you what, he earned it just as much as Jason Belmonte.
We'll be seeing a lot of you boys under these lights. Good job this week. Really good. Don't Webb it. Got it.
Oh, a shot.
2 pieces. Oh, okay. Just 2 pieces. Grab the ball. Just grab the ball. Ching. Easy.
Cheers.
Well done. Jason, all the way through qualifying, this team was #1 the entire time.
We got it a fourth.
And well, I'll tell you what, they did what they had to do down the stretch to get it done.
In the winner's circle, Jason Belmonte and Bill O'Neill. We will meet our champions when we return. The Mark Roth Marshall Holman Doubles, presented by BowlerX.com. Brought to you by BowlerX.com. BowlerX.com is the online bowling supplies superstore. Free shipping, free returns, simple. BowlerX.com for the love of bowling. By Motive Bowling, get motivated. By the United States Bowling Congress, creating competitive opportunities at all levels as we build a future for the sport. Visit bowl.com for more. And by Barbasol Premium Razors. You're looking good, America. So Jason Belmonte was sharp. Watch the Belmo Messenger come sliding over. But the man of the match is Bill O'Neill. 3 strikes, including this big one in the 9th as he too gets the head pin to behave. In the meantime, the Tang brothers trying to climb the ladder almost made it, but Darren Tang had a tough one. Did not strike in this Baker final and missed the 10 pin. Still a great event for the Tang brothers. They're standing by with Kimberly.
Guys, you have to be proud of how you played out there. You climbed the step ladder, and you got to the final match. But Darren, it seemed that you struggled quite a bit on that left lane. What was happening at the end there?
They got a little tight down lane, and I just couldn't get my ball shaped the right way. I kind of struggled with that a lot this week, and just never found an answer for it.
Now, after you threw that last shot, I heard you say under your breath, "I'm sorry, Mikey."
Yeah, I mean, missing spares is unacceptable, as we all know, but I just feel like I could have done more.
And Michael, how proud are you of your brother and you for both making it here to the finals?
I mean, we wouldn't be here without him. I struggled a lot during qualifying, and he's the one that kept us afloat. So I have everything to thank him for, just to be able to bowl in front of the big lights, and I couldn't have asked for more than he gave us.
Well, you guys have a ton of potential ahead of you, and I can't wait to see you guys on the lanes again. Guys?
A tradition is to have the men whose names are on this tournament sign the trophy. Marshall Holman and Mark Roth.
My coach in the back. Team manager. That's right.
Marshall Holman and Mark Roth signing for Bill O'Neill and Jason Belmonte, and the winners are standing by with Kimberly.
Thanks, guys, and I am joined by Mark Roth and Marshall Holman for the trophy presentation. Guys, please do the honors.
All right, here goes Thank you very much. Guys, you're both great. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Jason?
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. So Jason, Bill, let's talk about the match a little bit. Bill, you know what? You have had a really great 2018 so far. You finished 6th, just missing 2 shows in a row. But you come in here, you make the show, #1 seed, and now you're standing in the winner's circle. Do you feel like all your hard work is finally paying off?
A little bit, you know. Like, I'd like to make those shows, but, you know, what's standing up here with one of my best friends, you know, holding the trophy and have bowled a pretty good show. We, you know, the score wasn't as high as we would have thought, but, you know, we bowled well, and we're happy to be standing here with the trophy.
Well, the lanes were getting a little messed up out there, but you guys obviously did well. You are standing in the winner's circle. Now, Jason, you have a few titles to your name, but one that you do not have is a doubles championship. What does it mean to you to finally win this and do it with one of your good friends?
Yeah, it really means a lot, Kimberly. We've been in the TV show as a pairing. This is our 4th year in a row. And if I'm really honest with him, I think he knows I haven't really performed really well. So to finally put our names on a trophy together means a real lot to me. It also means, you know, we can find new partners now. We've done this and we can move on with our lives.
So you think you guys are going to find new partners for next year? Bill, I'm going to ask you that.
I didn't agree to that, and that is not binding.
Guys, congratulations on taking this win.
You know, I think the reason why they have some really good mojo, Bill's sporting a little bit of Belmonte facial fescue.
You know what? Just a touch. You're absolutely right. Man, you know what? If it works for Belmo, maybe it'll work for Bill. Good point. Don't miss our next PBA telecast on ESPN. It'll be Sunday, April 15th, 1 o'clock Eastern for the USBC Masters. Sunday, the 15th at 1 on ESPN. The defending champion, Jason Belmonte. So it began with Marshall Holman and Mark Roth throwing out the first balls for this doubles championship. And we had some high scores early that gave way to lower scores as the lanes transitioned. But through it all, the Tang brothers, Darren and Michael, able to get through from the first match all the way to the final until they ran into Bill O'Neill and Jason Belmonte, who picked up a couple of more PBA Tour titles for their resumes. For Kimberly Pressler and Randy Peterson and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Dave Lamont. We thank you for watching